is a Toy Spot review on NECA Cult Classics Halloween Evolution of Evil. This figure, what did this figure come out, what, 3 years ago? I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I've still got him sealed. If we have a look on the front, we've got Michael Myers in adult form, as well as Michael Myers when he was a child. This was when he killed Judith, his sister, on Halloween night. If we have a look on the back, we get a picture of Michael Myers as well as the younger Michael and the tombstone that it comes with. Also comes with a jack-o'-lantern which lights up. Fantastic. And then it says, on Halloween night in 1963, 6-year-old Michael Myers, right here, unexpectedly murdered his 17-year-old sister Judith. As a minor, Michael was sentenced to Smith Grove, Warren County Sanitarium, where he remained locked away for 15 years. On Halloween night, 1978, Michael Myers escaped the sanitarium and returned home to Haddonfield to resume his murderous rampage. What is lying behind Michael's eyes is purely and simply evil. This was the reason why I did not like the remake of Halloween by Rob Zombie. Like I had commented, I think on the comments section, I liked it from the point that Michael broke out and then was killing people. That was fine. I just didn't like the fact that they played up that he had a terrible upbringing, and that was the reason why he became evil. If you ask me, it's much more creepier to have just a normal kid one day just snap, and for no reason at all, just kills his sister and doesn't say a word then for, what was it, 15 years? But there you have the packaging. What I'll do is I'll break this guy open and we will have a look at the two Michaels. Here's both Michaels out of packaging. Let's first maybe get a look at the younger Michael. A lot of detail was put into the figure. Great job on the paint application. There is no articulation to speak of basically from the neck down. This is all just one solid piece. His arms do have articulation as well. Now, if anybody has seen my Seed of Chucky family box set, one complaint I did have with the figures was not so much a gripe on the way they were designed, but the fact that when I took the figures out, two of the arms fell off. One on Chucky, one was on Tiffany. Now, when I took out young Michael, what happened? Anybody, you want to take a guess what happened? The arm fell off. There's just something about either the figures I buy or the way that they design these figures, but for some reason these clips that hold the ball joint in place break off. And now this is what, the third figure I've had that has done that. So shame on you, NECA. Shame on you. Aside from that, though, there was a lot of detailing that was put into, he's got in the ruffled collar as well as his, I guess, little poofs, little buttons on his thing, on his costume. I almost wish this would have been more of a white color because it just kind of seems weird that it's almost like a see-through. But his mask, which I'm sure everybody has asked already, does it come off? The mask does come off. And you've got a very horrified Michael after he's come down the stairs and his parents say, "Michael!" And then his mask gets taken off and there we have the shocked Michael underneath. A lot of detailing was put into the mask as well. The only downside to this figure is the fact that he's got this really funky 70s hairstyle going on. The only drawback is because of the way the elastic is, it doesn't sit on his hair all that well. You have to move the elastic, as you can see here. You have to move the elastic quite a bit down on his hair for it to. I'm trying to do this in front of the camera here, so bear with me. But you have to move it quite a bit far down in his. You know what? I'm just going to leave it off for now. But the idea is you have to move it quite a bit. How about you have to move it far enough down on his hair that it doesn't just snap off. But there you have the mask. The mask, I think, also. No, it doesn't. I thought it was just going to hold on as it was. But there you have young Michael, and we'll have him looking at his future self. Now we have the adult Michael. A lot of detailing was put into this figure. He's got articulation in the shoulders. He has the notorious gimp arm. So I mean, he has swivel rotation in his elbow, but then his arm can also do that. No articulation in the waist or anything else from the waist down. It's just a statue. He has a little bit, although I don't think it is articulation. I think it's just the way the boot was put in. But and he's got articulation in the head. Very nice. I'd like to bring out, I'll put this guy down for a second here. I'd also like to bring out Neca Re-Release this figure. He's been released 3 times. He was released in the Evolution of Evil. He was also released in the Night He Came Home box set with Sam Loomis. And he was also released as the Hall of Fame. I think it was the Hall of Fame where he had Bob's sheet on him. And if I just put those down here, you'll notice that there is a lot of, even though it is almost the exact same figure, there is added differences between the 2 characters. The hair itself looks like it jets out a little bit further on this Michael, and the hair is darker. But they've also re-sculpted the mask. The mask is a little more narrow on the later released Michael Myers, whereas this one's a little bit wider. This one also has a little more paint application done to the face, whereas this Michael is a bit more white, a little more pale. If you ask me, if I put this guy aside, I prefer this Michael over the other one just because of the added detail it was done to the face. But in the way of accessories, I'll put this guy back down. In the way of accessories, he has a butcher knife for young Michael with Judith's blood. There is also a adult-sized butcher knife for adult Michael. They also come with a Tombstone. And it's surprising that it doesn't actually have a base. This doesn't actually sit into anything. It's a standalone piece. It does stand, but I'm surprised that there was no grass base or anything to it. The other thing it comes with is a pumpkin. And the pumpkin lights up, which is a nice added touch. This pumpkin was also carried over to the other Michaels, both the later released Michael as well as the Night He Came Home had a pumpkin. The Night He Came Home had the light up feature. The Michael with Bob's sheet had this light up feature removed. Not really sure why. I mean, they could have easily just made the exact same pumpkin, but needless to say, it's nice that it lights up. Overall, it's a nice set. I prefer, like I was mentioning earlier, I prefer this Michael a lot more just with the paint application to his face. I prefer it much more to the other Michael. Definitely thumbs up on this. It's just a shame that poor young Michael here has had to have his arm come off as a result. But there you have a very nice toy spot review on Michael Myers' Halloween Evolution of Evil box set. And I will see you guys later.